objectives today are to make you laugh. However, there's nothing funny about Marielle's journey, as she has caused people to squirm, sweat, and gag while she drilled away at it. And this for almost 40 years. Will finding humor in this prove to be as difficult as pulling teeth? Let's see how much Marielle will sweat now as she tries to make you laugh with her speech. The anatomy of a difficult dental visit. This is a 5 to 7 minute speech. It's Marielle's project number 3 from the Entertaining Speaker in the Advanced Communications series. Let's welcome Marielle.
Madame Toastmaster, my friends, distinguished guests. There is nothing funny about life in the dental office. And this is where I spent literally 2/3 of my life. Difficult to be a dentist. And now I'm supposed to make you laugh with the anatomy of a difficult dental visit. I'd rather have this root canal treatment right now. But before I forget, I'd like to thank the executive of this wonderful club for the amazing award I was given last week, Toastmaster of the Year. I was thrilled with that, and especially with the fact that you gave me a trophy and not some plaque. We all fight daily battles with plaque. All of us. But no one in this room has fought more battles against plaque but me. It's difficult to be a dentist. You have no idea how many women have told me that they'd rather give birth than have a filling. And seriously, these same women suffered hours of excruciating labor pain while under the care of my obstetrician husband, and they lavished him with gifts. Every week he came home with gifts. And me, who's never caused as much pain to anyone in my whole career as that, I can count on the fingers of one hand the number of gifts I received in 40 years. Life as a dentist is difficult. The only time I made someone happy in the dental office was when I was examining a golfer's teeth, and I told him he had a hole-in-one. Now, let's see. Who of you likes to go to the dentist? Raise your hand. Who likes to go to the dentist? What's wrong with you?
I like to have clean teeth. I've never had a cavity.
No, you're masochistic. That's what's wrong. Nobody else in this room likes to go to the dentist, and you want to know why? That is because when they were little children, their parents told them that if they didn't brush well, they would have to go to the dental office and get a filling. And even when they were too young to understand what a filling was or a dentist was, they knew it was something terrifying. And what have you all done once you've grown up with your own children? Exactly the same. And you want to know what happens now when I tell a kid he has a cavity? Tears. And what do? You go, see, I told you. Now that's real helpful. Seriously. And what happens on the morning of the dreaded filling appointment when my assistant opens the room to the waiting area and establishes eye contact with Tommy and pronounces the 6 scariest words in the world? The dentist will see you now. What do? As you push Tommy towards my assistant, you say, "Don't worry, dear, it's not going to hurt." And now, on top of having to deal with gallons of saliva and a water in a space smaller than an espresso coffee cup, I'm going to have to deal with tears and urine eyes. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Now, let's make two facts really clear. Fact number one. Dental visits and pain are synonymous. If the treatment doesn't cause you actual pain, the bill will. Fact number two. Using fact number one to motivate your child to brush better is counterproductive. It will only transform your child's filling visit into the worst case scenario. So let's look at fact number one. Try to imagine an espresso coffee cup with two of my fingers resting on the lower rim, and my index and thumb of the same hand guiding a winding drill that's going 400,000 revolutions per minute to the bottom of that cup where there happens to be a tooth with a hole in it that I cannot see. So I grab a mirror that I guide through the same small opening of that small espresso coffee cup so that I can see the tooth, the hole in it, and what I'm doing through a spray of water in mirror image. During the same time and through the same small opening, my assistant wrestles with the tongue to keep it out of harm's way with a retractor. She also wrestles with a suction tip to evacuate gallons of saliva and gallons of water without turning the child inside out. And by the way, we don't get to have this much fun until I've successfully numbed the child with a syringe that's a foot long that I've managed to keep out of sight all along. And the best comes at the end when I have to fill that hole with materials that only perform semi-well under ideal and dry conditions. Let's examine fact number two. Little Tommy, whom you've been less than successful at motivating with the fear of pain, now needs a filling. And now I will have to perform all of the tasks I described in fact number one in the mouth of a child who's terrified, crying, and who's been lied to. So now when I put my fingers on his bottom lip, he jumps out of his skin. And when I gently swab some topical anesthetic, he screams, "Ow, ow!" I'm hurting him with a Q-tip. And when I reach for the syringe, he turns into the demonic child of The Exorcist. Now try to hide a foot-long, shiny instrument from a kid who can turn his head 360. I'm going to stop here, because if I continue, you will not sleep tonight. And this, my friend, is the anatomy of a difficult dental visit. Thank you for laughing.